I'm finding the biggest challenge with Software Inc. right now to be the control scheme, which I know sounds weird, but I've recently started playing Transport Fever 2 again, and the controls going back and forth from one game to the other are just a little strange. In Software Inc., it is tab to change the mode that you're in. You can go into build mode with tab, you can go back out of it with tab again, whereas in Transport Fever 2, that increases the time cycle. In Transport Fever 2, the numpad buttons are for different overlays, where in Software Inc., the numpad buttons are for game speed. So, yeah, there's definitely some confusion going on there for sure. But that's fine. That's not the point of today's episode. We're not going to talk about Transport Fever 2 in a Software Inc. video. What I want to talk about is some of the things I've done between this episode and the last, which is education. And I want to just mention two things. Number one, I've seen a bunch of comments talking about the fact that I need to get education to be more of a priority, and you are 100% right. So much so that I want to build a building today that's going to be the administration building, in which I'm going to, on each floor, build an office for team leaders and a meeting room for specific teams, and I'm essentially going to rehire all of the team leaders to make sure that they can handle education. That is kind of gonna be my priority. If we have a little look here at our employees, we can go right up to the top. We can go to me. We can go to educate. I mean, we can't go to educate. We can go to leader skills. And in my case, I can handle complaints and salaries. I can't handle education, and I can't handle hiring. I'm pretty much useless, is what I'm saying. I can do automation though, which is a pretty big deal, because being able to do automation means that I could automate the core team right now, which is very, very tempting to do. The core team at the minute working on, what are the core team working on right now? I think the core team is actually potentially doing absolutely nothing. They're not porting anything, are they? No. Is my core team well, we're not going to find out. They're going home. Is my core team doing nothing right now? We need to figure this out. Accept all those and close, and then core team should come in. And they are doing something. What have I got you guys working on though? So that's marketing, RTS team, FPS team, RTS team, Zip2. Oh, the core team's doing XI. Yeah, they're doing the new console operating system. Totally forgot about that. We could automate that though. We absolutely could automate the process of making these operating systems. We would probably need to rename it so it doesn't end up being like XI2, but that's fine. It's not really a big deal. But I think that's the thing we may end up wanting to do, is get the core team doing that kind of thing. I do also want to see here, let's cancel support for Tank Base Ultra. Nerdisoft Wave. Paint XL does have active users, so we're not going to cancel that. These all have active users as well, so that's fine. February 2014 for Tank Base X. Let's go ahead and market that with a press release and give that to marketing. And let's market it with a press build and, you know, get that out there at some point as well. We can leave marketing to kind of do their thing with that. It's not really any priority that goes out, but I think what I want to do is I want to get Tank Base X released. I might push for the Army Strike release as well. It's got like 10 months to be done. It might not be done in time. We might have to move some teams around and maybe put the core team on this, but we'll see. The whole plan though, and getting back to the whole thing about there being 2 points. Number one, I want to handle education better. I think it's going to be the priority over things like automation, and I think it's going to be the priority over things like meetings. I think having team leaders that can handle education is going to be vital. So that's what we're going to do there, so that I don't have to educate them manually. Because when I went through here, it might have said 9+. There were like 25 people. And there's still a lot of them need education. It's not showing me a notification anymore. But there were like 25 of them that needed education. So that's kind of where we're at. So anyway, I'm also, just on a side note, I'm thinking of going through and I might very well do this actually. Let me go to manage teams. What team am I looking at here? The FPS team. So let me go to the FPS team and let me go to employees and let me go to you. let me see. I'm trying to change the role of one or more employees whose role is controlled by HR. Do I want to continue without changing the HR settings? No. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. I was really hoping I could set secondary tasks here, because I was going to say that some of these guys have a bit of art skill, but anyway. We're going to educate you in some 3D. We're going to educate you in some network. We can educate you in some 2D. We can educate you in some audio. And essentially, this is what I've been doing with the education, is kind of just keeping them specialized in some of the things that I hired them for. So if they're, you know, this guy can do 2-star 2D and 2-star audio, so like 3-star audio suddenly, 3-star system, and then you can be 3-star 3D. That's essentially what I've been doing for all of the education, is I'm keeping them sort of focused on what they're able to do and what they have been doing. And I think that's going to be a pretty good shot, to be totally honest. I think that'll end up working out for us. We'll certainly find out. But that is something I want to do. I want to get these people in here, and I want to get the education going, and I want to have it automated. The other thing I want to bring up is these videos are being recorded way ahead of time, and that's got its good things and its bad things. And I guess while we're waiting for some things to release here, I can talk about it. The good side of it is that I'm not recording a video on the day it goes out and potentially having tech problems, or I'm waking up someday when I'm sick and not being able to do a video. It means that videos go out and they're consistent, and you get, you know, Software Inc. every other day, you get Transport Fever 2 every other day, you get this, you get that, whatever. That's what that means. It means I'm working ahead of time and I'm being super productive. And I like that personally. I am a really big fan of, you know, being productive in that sense. But it does have its downsides, and the downsides are, and I mean, the biggest one is that I don't get to read feedback immediately. The reason I'm bringing that up is because I have seen a couple of people tweeting me and that are putting comments in saying I'm not listening to feedback, and that, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not trying to ignore anybody. I'm not trying to like just be stubborn. I will get around to them. Like I said, I've seen comments that have said that education's a problem. We're trying to deal with it. It's just that it will take a little bit of time, and I know it's a little frustrating, and I know I've been messing up some marketing tasks. I do, but I will get there. I 100% will. I'm kind of enjoying messing up and then like being able to go back and fix it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. In other news, I'm realizing X is very nearly not making a profit. Army Trials Lite still making good money. Finance-wise, we had a massive drop-off last month in profits. Almost, well, about half. We made about half as much money in sales last month as we have done before. Distribution, interestingly, making money. That's not something we see very often. Can't really complain, to be honest. So that's all right, I guess. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right, let's go ahead and speed things up. Ooh, Alexis Johnson has retired. What team were you on? You were service team A specifically. Okay, so we're gonna need to hire another, I don't know what, I mean, just service, I guess. So service and support. We'll go for high we'll go for low, we'll go for medium salary. We'll go for this and this and begin looking. And compatibility for service team A, we're looking for, you've got great compatibility. That will 100% do. You can handle 2 support tickets, so you are absolutely hired. There we go. That's another thing I'd really like to automate, but the thing is, getting leaders, I mean, it's tricky, right? It's not tricky to get a leader for your team, but it's tricky to get one that can do everything you want them to do. So I don't know, maybe it would be worth going instead for a leader that can do meetings rather than doing education, because the meetings, I imagine, would get them more experience. I honestly don't know. I guess we'll figure it out. I'm also curious to see if we do have a meeting. Look at this. So the Zippy team has a little bit of a meeting going on. That's not bad. It's not the entire team, but it's a chunk of it. So we do have meetings. That's actually kind of cool. Anyway, it is January 2014. Tank Base X is due to release next month. Let's do a final push on priority for the RTS team, and let's start printing some copies here. We're going to do a maximum of 500,000 copies is what we're going to do. And we're going to sincerely hope that Tank Base X actually makes some good money here. We do have a deal offer as well. We have a print job. We can do that. We can 100% do that. That'll be done in like a month, no problem. So that's gonna be my plan. Like I said, we're gonna get the admin building done, but I want to get tank base done first. Oh, hello, you've retired as well. What team are you? Service team A, 20 years. All right. I guess service team A is probably about to start losing a bunch of people as well. This might actually end up being a little bit of an issue, truth be told. Do we have anyone with like skill 3 in this? No, not really. Okay, well, you're hired as well. We might have a bit of an issue here with this team not, you know, doing much, but, or not, what's the word I'm looking for? Not automatically hiring. That's what I'm looking for. But we'll see. Anyway, it is February 2014. Let's go ahead and release Tank Base X. We do want to start marketing. I want to set a budget of 100,000 for it, and I'm going to give it to my marketing team. So that's done. I'm going to say that marketing for X, we are going to bring the budget of that down to $25,000 because it's barely making money. And we'll move the tank base marketing up to there. This is held by service team A and B, which is interesting because I don't think we have... Oh, we do. We do have both teams doing it. Okay, so that can go up there. That's going to be... That right there is going to be our kind of active thing. Tank Base X is our newest release, so we'll keep that up there in terms of marketing. Army Strike, I'm a little worried is not going to be done all that well. Unsupported processes, Tank Base X. Let's change the... Let's rename the SCM server to just the... I don't know, the game, just the I don't know, primary server, I guess. That's caps on P. Our primary server is what we'll call it. So rename, and let's assign you to that primary server. There we go. So that should help things along a little bit for Tank Base X. The servers have come online, which is fantastic. I'm also noticing that these guys are coming along quite nicely with their 4th iterations. Tank Base Ultra 9 is actually still being ported. I wonder if we could just cancel that. We can add new systems to it as well if we really want to, such as the Sloth 5. But I'm going to be honest, I'm going to cancel the port job. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to say, in terms of my releases, Tank Base X needs to be ported to any available systems. So give it to the RTS team, and let's go for releases. We have 1.7 million people using Tiger. Let's port it to... I don't know. There's a lot of systems we can port it to, honestly. There's a lot of them have a lot of users. That's going to take a long time to port it to all of those. It's 15 different operating systems we are porting that to. But that kind of needs to be done. So I think I'm actually going to assign the core team to do this. I'm going to assign everybody to do this if we can, because I need that to be done as quickly as possible. So we'll see how that goes. Reviews of Army Strike are coming in. I'm really hoping it ends up being good. I'm hoping it's in a good place. It is a 6.5. That's not good. I'm not going to iterate, though. I'm just not. It's not. I don't think it's going to be worth doing. What I will say is the progress in this for 15 operating systems is actually coming along quite nicely. We just got one of them done already. So maybe we'll get one per month. That would be nice. It would be really, really nice if we got one operating system per month. I'm curious, though. Tank Base X with $100,000 of marketing money in it just before it releases, or on the day it released. How much money is Tank Base X going to bring us in? It is $6.2 million. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. That is fantastic. Hello. Where are we here? No publisher. Is that our first indie game? No, we had none for... Well, Army Trials Light we didn't invent, actually. We stole. Tank Base Ultra 9, we did invent, but it was published. Tank Base Ultra 8, we didn't invent. And then, I mean, is that... We had another game, didn't we? Or was it Ultra 9? Was Ultra 9 the one that made us crazy money? It is. So it was the one that we invented, and it was published. Is this our first solo outing as a game developer? I think it might be. I might be missing something. I don't think we've invented a game. I think Tank Base Ultra 9 was our first game, right? I'm pretty sure. That's kind of cool. All right. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. Immediately, in a single month, it made a profit. So That is not bad. And it's going to be getting ported to all these different systems. So really can't complain there. Let's make tank base the priority in terms of marketing money, just to make sure that the, you know, marketing keeps on going there. It is on a couple more systems as well. Oh, why are we getting all these retirees? They are getting like $2,000 when they go. That's nothing really, but that's fine. Education wise, how many people? Let's have a cheeky little look here. There's quite a few. We're going to go through and sort that in just a second. I want to, deals. Ooh. Hello. I could probably get these done in time, right? I mean, as long as there's not one for like, 6 million might be slightly tricky. But this one we can do. And then this one, and this one, I think we can do as well. So we can do all of those. I don't think we can do the multi-million copy deal, but that's fine. Anyway, we do need to get another service team member. Let's go for high salary. Begin looking. And is there anyone that has level 3 support? You do. So you are absolutely hired. There we go. All right. So that should help the service team along a little bit. What are we looking at here? We are 7.2 million. So it's climbing, which is beautiful. Where are we in the company chart? Worth? We are still not the most valuable company. That's ridiculous. Doc Digital with their 7 products, just $19 million ahead of us in terms of value. What is their most recent release? 2010, they did Gun World, which made them $264 million, or 3.9 million units sold. Would they trade me that IP? They would for $81 million. You're all right, lads. What about this one? $48 million. I don't really want any of them. It would be slightly tempting to take Dream Gangs of Death and like bring back the IP that made this company, but I don't think we need to do that either. I think honestly we're okay. And I think honestly we will just focus on porting tank base. I think there's a chance that it could make us ridiculous money. So hopefully it does. Anyway, let's get this education done. Let's give you some 3D. Like I said, I'm just going to specialize them in what they've kind of already got. So we'll max them out across the board in, you know, whatever they're already doing. So you're doing a bit of 3D, for example. Going down, you're primarily a designer, so we can actually give you something new. We'll give you 2D. You can have something new as well. We'll give you system. You're a programmer. We can max out your networking. We can max out your networking as well, and we can max out your audio just to be a little bit different on that one. Going a bit further down, I think that is it, with the exception of you. You want to be a designer all of a sudden, so you can 100% do that. What team are you on? You're on the Zippy team. So Zippy, I think, was 2D, so we'll give you that. And I guess, honestly, we're working on Zip 2. We're working on this. The RTS team's doing that. So everybody is doing something, with the exception, I think, of the Wave team. Although the Wave team are admittedly now working on porting Tank Base X, but I think it might not be a bad idea to start working on Wave Studio 2. So let's make a sequel. We're just going to call it Wave Studio 2. And we could do a new framework. We'll try an existing one. Releases. Core Library has 100% coverage. Is that me? That isn't me. What? Core Library? That's my thing. I guess royalties. Sure, we'll do this. Yeah, Core Audio was the one we did. It covers everything up to a 2003 tech level. I want to bring that tech level up for the interface, though, is the thing. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, let's add everything in here and see what exactly it's going to do in terms of time. Because we can do everything. Approximately 3 years. If we brought the audio stuff up to the modern day, it's going to be 4. I kind of want to do this, though. You know, bring the tech level for audio up to 2012. Bring the tech level for interface up to 2006. I think that does mean we can do a new framework. Oh, no, a new framework would actually kind of mess things up a little bit. I think we're going to do it anyway. Maybe. Yeah, no, let's just use Core. We could use Core Library. It would bring things forward, but not by much. The interface would only go up to 2003. So let's just use Core Audio, I guess, is what we'll do. And that should be fine. We are going to just sort of throw out the idea that, you know, we're not keeping the tech level where it was, basically. And it is going to take well, thinking about it, would it be worth doing this in iterations where we maybe bring the interface up to 2007? I don't know. I don't know if it would be. Let's do primary server. Let's make this 80. It's just default. That's fine. Next page is going to be using recent releases. Paint XL, I guess, will do the job. That limits our interface to 1993. Interesting. Maybe we'll go for Power Premium 3. We don't own it, and it does break my rule, but, wait, does Power Premium... Hold on a minute. Bring that right up there. 2006 for the tech level on that. That's a bit grim, but okay. I can't put it on any of my operating systems. Interesting. Very interesting. Paint XL. Let me just try something here. Does Paint XL work on X? Why can't I put this on my own operating system? I guess I can't put it on XI because it's in design phase. Let's use Power Premium 3 just to make sure that that tech level is up there. Still gonna be 4 years, which is a bit grim, but that's all right. We'll put it on these 3 operating systems. That gives us 2.1 million potential consumers. Marketing is fine, and we're gonna give this to the Wave team is what we're gonna do there. Approximately 5 years for that. That is a bit grim. That is a bit grim. We might be able to speed that up, but we're gonna... I think we're gonna start the development. We'll keep the Wave team busy. We'll just let them kind of slowly work away on that. Slowly do their thing. Shouldn't be the end of the world, I would imagine. And honestly, I'm just kind of excited that Tank Base X is selling as phenomenally as it is. 7.1 million goes up to down to 6.6. That's fine. That's not really the end of the world, and it is still being ported, so it's again not really the end of the world. I'll tell you what I do want to do, though. I do want to go into build mode, and I do want to buy myself a new plot of land. So let's see here. Plots. I can buy this one. There is a building on it, is the thing, so it's quite expensive. I could buy this one for a lot cheaper. Could buy this one. I'm tempted by one with a building on it purely because they're closer. This one specifically would be ideal to put a space in for team leaders. I could just build on top of what we have, admittedly, and do some like dedicated meeting spaces, but we have... How many teams do we have? Because we're going to want a floor maybe for each team. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 teams. And how many floors can we do on this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we could, by all means, do... Yeah, I think we're going to do this. I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some stuff up here. We have got this space as well. We could do some offices in there, but I want to do... I kind of want to max out this building a little bit, and I kind of want to try and keep everybody in the same space. So what we'll do is we'll grab these right in there in the corners, and we'll put them in. And then we want to go in and essentially just, you know, outline everything. So we go from here, we go across, and we sort of... We can't actually do this. We're going to have to duplicate, aren't we? Okay. That's fine. This floor is probably going to be the best one to duplicate because it's all pretty much one. We do have bathrooms there as well, so let me duplicate you and bring you right up to the top there. And that gives us all that space to work with. And essentially what I want to do is meeting and office space is what I'm thinking. So... let me go ahead and select all the furniture. Let me go ahead and select... Is that room selected? Can I select the room? There we go. Select all the furniture and delete. Select all the furniture and delete. Obviously going to need the elevators in the middle again, because that's kind of how you get there. But what I'm thinking we do is we take out that archway. We take out that archway. We basically take out all of the archways. I don't know why I'm trying to go like one by one here. We take out all of the archways and we go from here to there. We go from here to there. This can be an office of some sort, although it's a little weird. And then these can just be meeting spaces, kind of like what we've done further down, essentially. But the offices are a little smaller. The meeting spaces are a little bigger. With that said, that doesn't actually give us as much space as I'd like. So I'm gonna do things a little differently. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's put a wall between the elevators. And then let me merge those rooms. I guess maybe we'll do this sort of thing. We'll do this. We'll do, let me see. We'll just do this essentially. We're gonna just kind of nicely give them some corridors. I don't know why I'm saying nicely. It's a corridor. It's not. Oh, it's a lovely corridor. It's the best kind of corridor. I love corridors. Me. Yeah, we're gonna do this. This space in here, I'm not really sure what it's gonna be. I think we could maybe get away with something like this, where that could be an office, and then have meeting space in here, possibly. Maybe a little bit big for an office. Maybe we make it smaller, so something like that instead, and then merge those two. I like that a little bit more. I do like that a little bit more. So let's merge these two rooms, and let's do 2 angle, 2 angle, and 2. And that should be okay. And then essentially, I mean, it does mean that we're in a spot where you kind of need to take this elevator to get to this space, this elevator to get to this space, but I think we are just going to do that and that. I think we can maybe do a window there and a window there just to kind of make things a bit interesting. And I want to do a window there and a window there. And then I guess the door for these offices can be on that side and that side. And that should be all right. This will give us just a nice big meeting space. Not really 100% sure what way I'm going to do the meeting space. We could do 2 tables. We could do 1 giant table. It's definitely going to be a little bit weird. I'm actually thinking as well. Let's change these up. Let's do just some big, like, glass spaces for the offices. I think that'll look a little bit more interesting, if a little bit less private. That's for sure. But that's fine. You don't need privacy at work. That's the argument people always use, isn't it? If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. I hate that so much. It's like, oh, let me look at your private thing. No, that sounded dirtier than it was. Anyway, no, you may not look at, like, you know, my emails or my whatever. You can't have my password. You can't have this. It's like, oh, well, you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to fear, right? It's like, that's not the point. That's not the point. That's not quite a fair argument in my humble opinion, but whatever. Anyway, let's get the desks in here, and let's get ourselves the swivel chair. I'm gonna give the leaders a laptop because I think it'll just look fancier, and then the back wall can just have like these bookshelves that I don't have to manually put books in, which I think is fair enough. And then we can give them, so they're going to be team leaders, so this will probably be a good shot. We can give them a plant. And then I guess just like a single ceiling light in there should do the job. That looks all right, if a little bit grim. Let's select everything. Let's clone it, rotate around, and fire it there. And that seems all right. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure what way I want to do the meeting space, but I'm thinking half the grid size, and then we can do the tables at the very least right down the middle, which might be a better shot than kind of awkwardly trying to space things out otherwise. So, I mean, I think this is all right, assuming they can get into the room. It gives us just a nice big table right in the middle. You'll not necessarily get all of our teams into this space, but I think that's kind of okay. I'm thinking we could also, let me see here, meeting room. We could do TVs in these spaces. We can't really do them anywhere else, so whatever. Let's just do a 2-meter end table in that space and that space. For lighting, let's do this and do that. We'll put one there, we'll put one there. And then let's put a light by the door and the window. And then I guess a light just there as well. Try and brighten the space up a little bit. That should be okay. Do we want some plants or anything like that? I'm not really sure. I was thinking we could do, let me see here, a canteen and go for like coffee machines in the corners. Not 100% sure that's something you need in a meeting room or something you want in a meeting room, but I kind of like it, to be honest. I think it's kind of nice. Can I get this in the middle of that wall? I don't think I can. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure that's going to be an option. What about if I half the grid size? Can I then do it? Not really. Can I get 2 of them? I can get 2 of them, which is kind of nice. Let's just do 2 of those. And then select everything in this room. Clone it. Rotate it around. And then it just needs to all go into... let's see. Is that where it needs to go? I think it is. There we go. So that's the entire room cloned in terms of its furniture. And I think, honestly, that'll be okay. I think this is probably something we can just, you know, manage the way it is. Let me bring that grid size back up a little bit. Because I want to put a light just right about, let me see, right about there. Not quite where I wanted it. Let's just put it in front of the elevators. That should be enough for that little corridor. And that looks all right to me. It's nothing fancy. Also, the music's died again. It's nothing fancy, but it's probably enough. And how many teams did I say we had? We did need to look at that again. It was 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was 8 of them. So we basically need to do this floor 4 times. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with having the same floor 4 times in this building. So let's just get a style for this room first. So the interior can be, I'm going to do like the black at the top and bottom of the walls. I'm going to do, I do wish there was like a more of a carpet texture in this game. I might look on the Steam Workshop and see if it exists. But color wise, I think the floor could be almost sort of a gray. I think the walls could be brightened up and made into like a, I don't know. Let's go for like a pinkish color for this one. And then let's select all of the tables. And we'll have those be sort of a whitish color. I think will be okay. We can select the chairs. And I'm going to have those be a bit of a white color as well. The lights in the ceiling are fine. Everything else is probably fine. I'm not really going to do too much to decorate these rooms like crazy. I think we will put some... We can put some plants in the corners. I think that'll be okay. We could do some TVs. I'm not going to do that. I think we're just going to keep them nice and standard the way they are. So what I'm actually going to do is I want to go ahead and I want to... Oh, also the meeting rooms or the leader rooms, I should say. Select... No, not move. No, not that either. Select you, and select you. And the base color is going to be that. Or sort of a... like a grayish color. And then the secondary color, I want to be... I think we'll just go for like a dark gray on that. And that'll be okay. We can select these spaces, go to colors, interior, that floor is that, I think. That one. So that seems okay. And I guess these spaces could be done a little differently with something on the interior being like that or that. I kind of like the stripes for the leader room. I think that's kind of cool. So let's go to furniture color on this as well. Make it kind of a white. Same with you as well. Go for just a slightly less bright white there. And then this can be just sort of black. So that'll be fine. It's definitely an interesting color scheme for the room, but that's all right. These hallways, I'm going to go really, really boring. I'm just going to go bright white for the hallways. Just keep them really, really clinical. We'll not go too crazy there. Can't even fit TVs in the hallways. What a shame. All right, we'll keep them that way. Let me go ahead and actually just delete that and then select you to clone, and we'll just do this with it. That way, a little bit easier to get the style that I'm looking for. Although I will say, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is room colors, interior, start at pink, go down to like a yellowish color. And then I want to select this entire floor. I want to clone it. And we want to move it up to be there. This one was pink. The one below, the other one was yellow. So this one's going to be sort of a greenish color. Hold on a minute. I need to redo that ever so slightly. Interior, that. This one over here is going to be sort of a blue-ish color. And that should be fine. So we're going from pink to sort of yellow to green to blue. Select the entire floor. And we want to clone it. And we want to move it up. And then if this and this space are currently green, the other one's blue. This one's going to be almost... That's the exterior I'm editing. This one's going to be sort of a stronger blue. Then this one and this one are going to be almost a purplish color, which is fine. So we have 6 meeting rooms. We need 2 more is what we're going to need. So go in, select the floor, clone it, and move it there. We want to grab this room and this room. We want to get the colors sorted. We had purple. We're going to go back to essentially pink, I guess, which is totally fine by me. And we'll go in and we'll say sort of that color. So it's kind of full circle, essentially, on the colors there. And that looks all right to me, honestly. I do like it. So what we'll do is this room is going to be, from the top, core team. Actually, we're going to say both of them are going to be limited to core team. This room and that room are going to be limited to FPS team. This room and that one are going to be limited to the marketing team. And you can kind of see where I'm going with this. We're essentially going to have all of this dedicated space for, number 1, the team leaders. This is service team A. I did get that right, didn't I? RTS team and service team A. This will be service team B, which is good because they're going to end up the same floor. And then this one is going to be the... Have I missed one? I think I've missed one. Hold on a minute. I'll get it right. Okay, I actually got it right the first time. For some reason, my mind was still fixed on 7 teams rather than 8. So that's all the meeting space is now assigned. We do need to go in and we do need to say that all of them are limited to usage-wise meeting. Then all of these spaces are going to be limited usage-wise to leaders is what we're going to do. So limit usage to leaders. So that's core leaders, that's FPS team leaders, etc., etc., etc. So they can all kind of move into their office space, which will be lovely. And that's all going to be in the main building as well, which is kind of exciting. I do kind of like that. I also like that we kind of have an RGB kind of going on there in the windows. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I think this will be kind of a good, thing to do. And I think essentially what I'm going to try and do here is go through and hire new leaders. So let's start with the core team. And I'm aware the meetings may never happen, but we're going to start with the core team, which means I'm no longer the core team leader, unfortunately. But I do still have my office, right? I do still have this space. So what I can do is I can go in, I can change, it's going to stay core team. I mean, I own the company, let's be real here. It's just going to be anyone can go in there. And then if we go to core team, we can go to employees, we can go to me, and we're going to change my roles, and I'm no longer the leader, which is a shame, but that's kind of necessary. And then if we go to hire employees, we want to specialize in... I want to specialize in HR, I think. It is HR, isn't it? If we have a little look here at individual employees really quick. If we go to you and leader... Yeah, so level 2 HR will handle education. Ideally, if we could get level 2 HR and level 3 socialization, I would be very happy. So let's begin looking. We're looking for a core team leader. We're looking for compatibility. So what have you got? You've got, where's your leadership? So HR, so that's handle education. That's automation. So can we get someone that can do you? So you can do everything I want you to do, and you can do meetings. So Odell Weaver is going to come in as the leader of the core team. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna go and find, where are you? There you are. So you are gonna become the core team leader, and you're gonna secondary everything else is what you're gonna do. So there you go, being moved right up to the top there. Odell Weaver, you're gonna be going into your new office at some point. Let's see. So this team here, this is Service Team A. So let's get Service Team A a new leader as well. Unless, I think, can you do anything? Is this assigned to you? It is used by, it is owned by, so yeah, this is fine. So what we can do is let this be used by anybody, and that'll be okay. So Service Team A, let's have a little look. We can go to employees. We can go to you. We can change your role. Actually, no, we need, again, need level 2 HR, level 3 socialization. So unfortunately, you're no longer the leader. Let's just do all that for you. There you go, bud. That must be terrible. You've been with us 17 years. You've been team leader. Wow, hold on, 30 years. Wow, we have people that have been here for 30 years. Some of my first employees. Not bad. Okay, let's get a Service Team A leader then. So begin looking, specialized in HR, and you're going into Service Team A. Compatibility-wise, not a big deal. Skill-wise, HR and socialization. Roberta Weaver, possibly related to the person we just hired. Compatibility, very bad, though. Can I find someone very bad? Can I find someone with, like, normal? Isaiah Powell, normal, and has exactly what I want. So, Isaiah, you're hired to Service Team A. We'll go to employees, and you are going to be getting changed a little bit here. You are the leader, and secondary, everything else. There you go. So that should change things up for both of those teams a little bit. That should get them in meetings, and it should mean I can go into automation in terms of their education. So Service Team A, HR management, education is not a possibility. Hiring is a possibility. So yeah, we'll do things this way. 5 people can be educated there. Core team, HR management, education, 5 people can be educated there. Hiring looks like it's being handled as well. So 5, 5, and 2, which is fine. Salary can be high. We'll go for a preferred age as low as possible. Make the budget 10,000 for the core team. And that essentially should now be fine. The core team should be in a good spot for a couple of years. Even though myself and Marlon have been demoted, essentially. We've also got, who is this? This is Ollie Walters, the Zippy team leader. Now, you can do meetings, can't you? I'm pretty sure you can. Anyway, I think that's going to be a pretty good shot. We are making a ton of money with Tank Base X. We are still getting close to being the most valuable company, but we're not there yet. We are by no means there yet. Hopefully someday. But what I think I'm going to do is 247-551-100. I'm going to deposit a lot of money into that savings account because we can. And I'm thinking that right there might start generating quite a bit of interest. And that does keep company worth as well. So, I mean, interest at the minute is $116,000. So putting $250 million into the savings account might not be a bad shot. That might work out well for us.